Latinos, Asians, black folks in the South who vote GOP are pushing white supremacy, MSNBC guessed. The GOP's continued success in attracting minority voters, especially Latinos, is alarming Democrats. During the latest episode of Listen Sees the Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, Fordham University political science professor Christina Greer educated MSNBC viewers that white Republican voters aren't the only ones allegedly pushing white supremacy and isolationist rhetoric. She argued Asian, Latino, and African American GOP voters were as well. Last Word guest host Selena Maxwell spoke to Greer and Dunk advisor Kurt Bardella, who provided a lengthy segment on the supposed racism of Republicans, especially those who support Trump. During his commentary, Bardella trotted out the usual leftist talking point of the MAGA crowd looking to devalue minorities. He stated, when they say let's make America great again, what they mean by that is to take us back to a place where people who look like you and me are devalued, where people are not seen as equal. The Dunk advisor continued, saying MAGA supporters want a world where women don't have the same rights, where people of color are less than their white counterparts. That's what they mean by going back. They aren't even trying to hide it. Bardella asserted, we cannot divorce them, the GOP now, from the white nationalist, racist elements that are overriding them. Later in the segment, they claimed that the GOP has been passing voter suppression laws to keep those non-white groups from the ballot box. Greer agreed with Bardella, saying that Donald Trump excavated what has always been a factor in this country. Don't forget, we are founded on white supremacy and anti-black racism, capitalism, and patriarchy. Though she went farther than Bardella, arguing that now some minority groups are pushing white supremacy themselves. We also realize that, you don't need white people for white supremacy anymore, the same way you don't need, just men to have patriarchy. We see women uphold it quite well, paging Amy Coney Barrett and her friends, Greer stated, for explaining how various minority groups are being pulled into white supremacist ranks. What the Republicans have been brilliant at doing is not only disenfranchising people of color and marginalized groups across the country, but they're really starting to, use their white supremacist rhetoric and chip away at certain Latino, Asian, and black populations across the country, she explained. We're seeing, Latinos in Arizona and Texas, Asians in New York, black folks in the South voting in, pockets, but in particular elections with the Republican Party, Greer continued, claiming that these minorities are buying into this isolationist rhetoric. They're buying into this nationalist rhetoric. She concluded that this phenomenon is the most dangerous part of the Republican Party right now. Greer appeared to be concerned about the Republican Party's recent inroads with minority electorates, especially the party's inroads with the Latino community.